Hello students and welcome to this video for Excel Chapter 2 Mid-Level Exercise number 2. We are going to be working on this exercise today. It's on page 528 in your textbook. Page 528 in your textbook. And we're going to be starting it from scratch. So I'm going to read this information while you're turning there. As a financial consultant, you work with a family who plans to purchase a $35,000 car. You want to create a worksheet containing variable data. So the price of the car, down payment, date of the first purchase, and the borrower's credit rating, and the constants. So sales tax rate, years, and number of payments in 1 year. So borrowers pay 0.5% sales tax on the purchase price of the vehicle, and their credit rating determines the required down payment percentage and APR. Your worksheets need to perform various calculations. So like I said, we're starting this from scratch, so you should have a new Excel workbook opened, and we're going to save it here. And we're choosing the name E2M2 loan underscore your last name and first name. So E2M2 last name, first name. Save that. It says the first thing to do is we're going to change sheet 1, the name of it, so I can double click or I could right click to payment. And that's step A. Step B, it says type auto loan calculator in cell A1. So you can see that's my active cell. So I'm going to type it in, auto loan calculator. And then it says I need to merge and center the title on the first row in the range A1 through F1. So merge and center A1 through F1. You can see I did that. Then it says apply bold. It says to apply 18 point for font. And then it says choose gold, accent for darker 25% for the font color. So gold, accent for, and darker 25%, which should be this right here. All right, that's step B. Then in step C, it says type the labels in range A3 through A12. So I'm going to show you here on my computer or screen with it for each label, such as negotiated cost of vehicle, merge the cells such as range A4 through B4. So you're going to see it here. So I'm going to type in inputs, enter, negotiated cost of vehicle, enter, and then additional down payment. And you're going to want to type these in and make sure your screen matches it. Statement of first payment, credit rating, and then constants. You'll notice that row 8 is empty. Okay, you can see I put in that information. It said A3 through A12. We were supposed to put it in. And then it says use format painter to copy the formatting to the remaining 9 labels. So, and I mean, you could do it that way. Otherwise, you can also watch, I select A4, B4, and then do merge and center. Excuse me, let me make sure I have the right thing selected here. So yeah, you're choosing merge cells. There we go. So merge and center, merging cells, merge and center. So I'm just clicking on the arrow next to it, choosing merge cells. Now you'll notice I'm not doing it with constants, and I'm not doing it with inputs. Alright, so we've merged those together. I do need a space here after my number sign. So it should look like what I had on my screen. If you need to, go back and look at it again to see it. Then it says, next, type and format the input and constant values in column C. So here's the things we're going to type in, and I'll show you how to format them as well. We're putting in 35,000 in here. I'm going to push enter, and I'm going to type 5,000 in here, and then push enter, and let's select these two and switch them to accounting number format. So you can see C4, C5, and then accounting number format. Then for date of first payment, I'm typing in 5/1/16, and I push enter. And you do want it in basically this format right here. And then for credit rating, we're typing the word excellent. So make sure it matches the cells that I put in the rows, but you put that information there. Then down here for our constants, I'm clicking in cell C10, and we need to put in 5%. So I'm going to actually type 0.05 and press enter, and then I'm going to click on my cell again, and I'm going to choose to change it to a percentage, and you'll notice it switches it to, you guessed it, 5%. Next cell, so this is C11, I just typed in 5 for the number of years, and then for number of payments, I'm going to switch it to 12. So my information looks like this right now. Alright, now we're on to step D. It says type credit, down payment, and APR in the ranges, in the range A14 through C14. So A14 through C14. So let me get down there, A14 right here. So we're doing it like this, credit, and I push tab, down payment, and I push tab, and then APR. And I can push enter. Then it says type the first, type the 4 credit ratings in the first column. So I'm going to go here to under credit, and I'm going to type in these 4 things. So we've got excellent, enter, good, enter, fair, enter, poor, and then enter. So you can see those 4 right here under credit. And then I'm typing in the required down payments here in the second column. So under down payments, I'm putting in again 0.05, and then I'm going to do 0.1, and I'm going to do 0.15, and then 0.2. So you can see they should look like this, and now we're going to change the format. So I'm going to select these 4, go up here and choose percent. And you can see it displays properly as the percent that we need. And then we also need to put in the third column the APR. So APR. So 0.0325, and then push enter, and then 0.035, and then you're going to push enter after that, and then 0.0425, enter, 0.0525. I'm going to hold down control and push enter, and you can see it should look like this, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be changing it to percentages. So select those cells after you've typed this in, and then go up and change it to percent format. I'm going to double check and make sure my numbers are right. Now we do need 2 decimal places, so I am going to switch the decimal places here, increase it, and it looks correct. So you can see 3.25, 3.5, 4.25, and then 5.25. And that is step D. Then it says step E, type the labels in the intermediate calculations and output sections in column E. So, and those go, it looks like, I believe E3 is where we're going to type in intermediate calculations. So right up here, column E3, intermediate calculations, and they're going down to E9, which is right here. So E9, and I'm going to type in outputs. So you can see it looks like this. Then it says enter the formulas in the intermediate calculations and output sections to calculate the following. And we're going to be typing these things in, and then we will put in the calculations. So we're going to actually do it this way. Let's type in the stuff here. So I'm clicking on E4, and then we're going to put down APR based on credit rating, enter, min down payment required, enter sales tax. So you can see these three cells under, so E4, 5, and 6, I type this in. And then I'm going to go down to outputs and we're going to type in some more stuff. So I clicked on E10. I'm going to put in total down payment, amount of the loan, monthly payment, P, and symbol. That's shift in the number 7. Oh, let me try it again. P and the number symbol, and then I. So that, and the not number symbol, the and symbol. That's shift and 7. And then monthly sales tax. You can see he was trying to do autocomplete. And then one more, total monthly payments. So you see this is the information I typed in here. And we're going to be putting the information in the cell, to the side of it, so over in F. Now I am going to do one thing here is let's stretch out column E. So I'm grabbing this side of it so that way it goes past the text we're using. So I'm actually going to drag it. You can see the edge here. I'm matching it up. I let go. Alright, now we're ready to go. So I'm clicking in F4 next to APR based on credit rating, and we're going to put in a formula for it. It says we're going to use use a lookup function that references the browser's credit rating and the table array in range. So include the range lookup argument to ensure an exact match. So I'm going to go to my formulas tab up here at the top, and then I'm going to choose insert function, and I have cell F4 selected, and we're using lookup. So I'm just going to type in, not just lookup, V lookup. So I can type it in up here, I push enter, and it comes up. I'm going to double click on that. And then I'm going to type in the following. In the lookup value, I'm going to type in C7. And you can see that's dealing with our credit rating. Then for table array, I'm going to type A15 colon C18. So it's selecting A15 through C18. So this is dealing with the rate stuff down here. Then for my column index number, I'm going to put in the number 3. And for range lookup, we're going to type in all caps, false. So this is how our information should look. C7, A15 through C18, 3, and then false. And we're using the V lookup. I'm going to click OK. And this is what it should come to. But we are going to change it to a %. So I'm going to go to the Home tab, and I'm going to choose the % format. And we do want 2 decimal places, so I'm going to increase the decimal point. So it should be 3.25, and you can see this is how our formula looks. We use that function. All right, let's get to the minimum down payment required. Minimum down payment required, use a lookup function. So we're actually going to be using the VLOOKUP again. And calculation, we're going to use the credit rating as the lookup value, and then the table array A15 through C18, and include the range lookup argument to ensure an exact match. And then we're going to multiply the function results by the negotiated cost of the house. So same thing, we're doing formulas. We are going to do VLOOKUP again, so insert function, choosing VLOOKUP. It's now at the top of my list. I'm going to move this to the side so you can see how it affects the table when we do this. So for lookup value, I'm going to do C7, which again is dealing with our excellent credit rating. Table array A15 colon C18. So some of this is the same thing. And then this time we have the column 2, and of course false. And we're going to add in one thing here outside this box. So this box needs to look like this. So C7, A15 through C18, 2, and then range lookup false. And I'm going to click up here in my formula bar, right after that closing parenthesis, put an asterisk, so multiplication C4. So it should look something like this for your formula bar right now. So VLOOKUP, C7, I already said the other stuff. And then I'm going to click OK. And you can see it should come out to this total right here, 1,750. Now it's important you're using these functions, so don't skip out on the function. That's how it should look. All right, let's calculate our sales tax. So I push enter to go down to F6 is sales tax, and it says we multiply the negotiated cost of the vehicle by the sales tax rate. And basically that just means I'm going to do equals, so type that in, equals C4, and where you can see that's the negotiated cost of the vehicle, and then multiplied by C10, and you can see that's the sales tax. So C4 multiplied by C10, I'm going to push enter, and you can see we get the same amount. So make sure you have that formula in the correct way. Next, we're doing total down payment. So I'm going to click here, I believe on cell, yes, F10, total down payment. And this is the sum of the minimum down payment required and any additional down payment made. So I'm going to put in equals. And so we said minimum down payment required, so I'm going to type in F5, and you can see it selects that minimum down payment we just calculated, and then plus C5. So F5 plus C5. So minimum and then those additional ones. And then I push enter, and you can see 6,750. That's the total down payment required for them. Now we have the amount of the loan, and that one is the difference between the negotiated cost of the house and the total down payment. So I'm gonna go and type in here in cell F11 equals C4 minus F10. So you can see we selected the negotiated cost of the vehicle, and we're minusing the total down payment because they're getting a loan for the rest of it. So I'm going to push enter, and you can see it's 28,250. So there's our formula in the formula bar, but that's how it should look. Now we're dealing with the monthly payment. So principal and interest using the PMT function. So we know PMT function. I'm going to do insert function. I'm just going to type in PMT and push enter, and it comes up in my list. I double click on it, so PMT, we've got that info there, and here's what we're going to be typing in. So F4 divided by C12, that's in the first box, so that's our rate. Then C11 multiplied by 12, and then minus F11. So this is what your box should look like so far. So F4 divided by C12, C11 multiplied by 12, and then the negative F11. So and this is how it looks in our formula bar. I'm going to click OK, and you can see it comes up the correct way, 510.76. All right, and then what we need to do is we need to figure out just a couple more, and then we're going to spend some time formatting what we have. For the monthly sales tax, it doesn't have it listed in your book, but type in equals, because we're going to take F6, so that's the sales tax, and divide it by C12, which is the number of payments per year. So F6 minus C12, and I'm going to push enter, and that gives me that total there. And then we need to deal with the total monthly payment. So this is how much they're going to have to pay each month for this car. The way we do that is we need to put in a sum. So equal sign, type in sum, and then open parenthesis, F12 colon F13, closing parentheses. So you can see it's adding these two numbers together for the monthly total. So I push enter, And you can see, there you go, total monthly payment, $656.59. All right, so we've put in our calculations, we've put in those headers. Now we need to spend some time formatting to make it look nice. Step G, it says format each section with fill color, bold, underline, number formats, borders, and column width as needed. So this is how we're going to do that. Let's take care of our fill colors. So I'm going to select these three here, these three here, these three here, these two, and then these two. So do you see all the headers I've selected? We got row 3, row 9, and then row 14. I've selected those, and I want you to pick a fill color that kind of matches with it. So I'm going to go, this is our fill colors here. I'm going to choose something from the gold section. So let's go with, we're going to say this one right here, gold 4, gold accent 4, lighter 60%. Then we do need to make them bold. So I'm going to hold down Control, push bold. Then I'm also going to underline, except rather than underline, I'm going to do, we're going to make a border here. So let's click up here on our borders button. Now you notice I've still left this all selected. I haven't done anything like that. And we're going to choose outside borders for this. We are going to be doing this again later, but outside borders, that's our underline essentially. And then we are going to go and we're going to do some other borders here now. So let's select what you're going to do under inputs. I click and hold down the cell. I click and drag it across like this. And we're going to do the same thing here. Hold down Control, click and drag across like this. I hold down Control, click and drag across like this. And same thing for this group, and same thing for this group. We're saving ourselves time by selecting these non-adjacent ranges and putting in the formatting. We are going to put that outside border again. So I click on it, and it looks nice there. Then we do need to add in a couple more borders over here. I'm going to just click and select amount of the loan and this one and do a bottom border. And I'm going to do the same thing for monthly sales tax, bottom border like this. We're almost there. You can double click, or it should work to do this. I double click on the right edge of the B column and it moves it out further so that way we can see everything properly, which is good. I do want to select these two cells, so C6, C7, and I'm going to change it to center for my alignment. It looks nicer that way. The numbers we're leaving to the right side, except for we are going to change. I do want to indent these numbers over here twice. So it does say to, we are going to increase the indent. So over here, this is our increase indent. So I push it once and twice. But we do need still right aligned. So it's going to look like this. So I did increase the indent twice. Make sure it's right aligned. And then we do need to select credit looks fine, but I do want down payment and APR centered. And then let me look and make sure we don't have anything else when it comes to formatting. But that looks like that's correct. So this is the format that needs to happen for step G to be done. So I want you to double check, make sure you got it, so that way it's ready to go. Then let's go to the page layout tab. We are going to choose to click the dialog box launcher for page setup. We're going to click on the header and footer tab because we are going to be creating a footer, so custom footer. And like usual, you're putting in your first and last name on the left section. In the center section, you're going to put that sheet name. In the right section, you're going to put that file name. And then we're going to click OK. And we're going to click OK again. And then it says to save, and you can close your workbook. So this is how it should look with all the different formatting, all the formulas we put in. Make sure you put in those functions. Don't just type in the amounts, because I'm going to actually look and see, did you put in the information properly? So there is the instructions there. I know we went a little bit different than the book because the book doesn't spell everything out for you. Just make sure this looks the correct way. And of course, this is how you complete Excel Chapter 2 M2 Loan.